Guys, back for this Monday slate. Only have a 4-game slate for Monday. Pretty disappointed by that, but looking like a pretty clear-cut slate because the pricing is very soft on certain guys that we want to take advantage of. Last night, looking like it's going to be a good night on DraftKings. The Lakers game just started, but ended up fading James Harden on DraftKings. Went with Chris Paul instead, and then paid off for Aldridge, who went off for the best score of the slate. So had Aldridge, Paul, Irving, Brown, Morris, Belicia, McGee, and Kuzma. So it looks like we'll cash on DraftKings. On FanDuel, looks like we'll miss out because I ended up paying up for Harden and did not pay up for Aldridge, which was my mistake. But on to today's slate, hopefully cash on both. If you want to join for basketball or baseball, you can hit the link in the description. Still very cheap on both sites, on both sports. Alright, so today's slate, only 4 games. Going to go through it pretty quick as it's pretty clear cut. So before we get started, please be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're not already. At point guard today, Mike Conley, 7,500. He is just way too cheap. His price tag is the same as it was last game, but the matchup is a lot better here. Going up against OKC, they play super fast. It's a huge pace bump. He's playing at home where he's played very well this year. He's still playing a lot of minutes, even though the Grizzlies are not in any playoff race or anything like that. He played 35 minutes last game. The Houston game went into overtime, but he would have played 37 in regulation. He's just been playing a lot of minutes, ton of 50-point games, ton of high 40-point games lately. He's just a lock to crush value at the salary, so I love Mike Conley. He's way too cheap. A value play that I like is Seth Curry at just 3,800. So without McCollum for a while, Seth Curry's been best option for the value guys out of him, Rodney Hood, Jake Layman, Mo Harkless. Seth Curry's been the most consistent, and he's been getting solid run lately. They're 28 and 32 minutes the last 2 games. He continues to nail three-pointers. He's shooting at a very high clip this year, over 45% from 3. He's shooting 45% from 3 at home this year. I just like him a lot, especially against this Brooklyn team. They are pretty good at limiting threes, but if he's going to continue to get 30 minutes at 3,800, he's a good scorer, and he could be a great complement to Lillard until McCollum comes back. Another value play I love is Nba Carroll at just 4,400. So with Karis LeVert struggling so much, Nba Carroll got into the starting lineup last game, and looks like he will start going forward after he played decent, made 3 threes, finished with just 23 DraftKings points, but he did play 35 minutes. What I like to see is that the Nets have really condensed the rotation with them fighting for playoff seeding, so we're not seeing Kenny Atkinson play like 10, 11 guys. They were down to like 9 guys against the Lakers, and Carroll played 35 minutes. We have Allen Crabbe is still out for this one, so the minutes are going to still be there for guys like Carroll. So I got to like him here. He does have upside. If he gets hot from 3, he can have a big score. Now we get to some of the chalk, I guess. Valanciunas, 7,100. Just at this price tag, I still like him a lot. He is going to get so many minutes at center without Joakim Noah, who's doubtful for this game. Last game only played 26 minutes, dealt with heavy foul trouble, had 5 fouls. And Joakim Noah also played in that game against Orlando, where Noah was out. He played 41 minutes, would have played 36 if the game ended in regulation. He's just way too good of a permanent guy, as he's going to see probably 33 to 36 minutes if he stays out of foul trouble here. Just way too high of a permanent guy not to crush at the salary, even though the matchup's pretty tough against Steven Adams. Valanciunas has been pretty solid. He's had 40-point game this year against OKC, and now he has a much higher usage on this Grizzlies team. So I love Valanciunas, 7,100. Damian Lillard at 9,900. So he was great last game. Only had 50 DraftKings points. Just didn't have any defensive stats. Also wasn't super aggressive until like later in the game. But he continues to shoot the ball super well without McCollum in there, playing a lot of minutes. If he gets a couple defensive stats, you're looking at a really solid game in the 60s. Price tag went down again against this Brooklyn team. I think it's a decent spot for him. He put up 40 DraftKings points on 5 of 21 shooting. I think he's going to shoot a lot better than that this time. And his usage rate without McCollum is just super high, so you got to love Damian Lillard. And finally, Youssef Norwich. This price tag is ridiculous on Nurkic. at 6,900, going up against the league's worst team at defending centers. We saw JaVale McGee, out of all people, drop a 75-point game against Brooklyn. Nurkic put up 48 in just 28 minutes earlier this year. This is an absolute lock at this salary. He should be 75-80% owned in cash games today. Whoever's making these prices on DraftKings has no idea what they're doing. Entire season, players are been underpriced in great spots, and it's led to a lot of chalk. Nurkic is definitely going to be on that list today, but just don't avoid Nurkic. He's too good of a play at the salary. Only thing that will hurt him is if he gets into foul trouble. But those are 6 players that I like. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed. You can hit the link in the description to get on board, and good luck today.